Hello, everyone. If you're in the war chats, you've probably seen that we faced, I think, Sweeta's Alliance, it's called. Or I think they have a different name now, but I'm just going to call it Sweeta's Alliance because that's what I know them as. These guys are my old friends. I have a lot of friends here. Um, I made two sets of mastery setups with Void and Sim Supreme. In the first section, I have a shared path with Oakley. He took the Jabari with Domino, and I'm taking the abs with Void. This is a really easy fight, and there's really nothing to think about. You want to alternate his specials, make him use L1 and L2 in that order, or any order actually, as long as you alternate them, because if he uses the same special twice, then he's going to refine his form, I think it's called. And you also want to take advantage of prowess because he's not a tactic defender, and you can reduce his power gain significantly, which makes him a lot easier to manage. And yeah, first I bait the L2, then I bait the L1, and that's just my preference because I dex and I know that the dex is going to push him closer to L1 and it's going to be, easier to do. Eliza did advise me not to knock down too much in case he refines, but I'm very comfortable with the spacing and all this for this fight, so I told her, thank you for the advice, and I acknowledge everything that my officer tells me and I follow it as well. So yeah, Eliza is the best. There's not a lot more to say on this fight, so I'll come back to the next one. Here we have Mojo, and I was debating with Lizer if I should use a power star or an invul boost, and at the end I just decided that an invul boost is more or less useless here because if I get hit by an L3 or an L2, then I'm gonna die to degens or at least lose a lot of health to them. I did think of ignoring the prompts. I did think to make sure I don't fulfill the prompts so that he doesn't get his anti-life field too much because then he starts putting the hitter debuffs and those deal a lot of damage. But at the end of the day, as good idea it is to avoid them, you can't avoid all of them. Like the RNG of use a special when I have to use L1 is just absurd. So yeah, not much I can do. This one I did avoid using Hovey because it's very easy to avoid. This is use a special. I don't think I can avoid it because he used one immediately. That's just how the prompts and AI and RNG and all that works. I lost a bit of health, but it's better to block the L1 than to dex it in anti-life field and take the gen. At the end of the day, I'll probably take like around the same damage if I dexed it. The only difference would be if I ate it, then I would take even more degen. So yeah, I just blocked it. Then we have Surfer. Lizer said to use an invul boost here, and that's exactly what I did. I was debating to use Sim Supreme, but then I'll have to use a Mystic Power Back boost and then switch back to Science, and that's very annoying. I don't do that, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that. The advanced power boost has still a lot of duration. I was debating to use it, but no, I think invul's safer. But now that I've taken this fight, I do think that you don't really need an invul boost. Like, the power control Void has is very good. Here I'm trying to get him to back up so I can hit his block and get some prowess, but he's just not doing it, so yeah, I don't have much option. Here I try to parry the L1, but it didn't really work out in my favor. Here I'm trying to tap his block again, and he still doesn't let me, so yeah, he's regenerating from the weakness, I think it is. Here I just had to block the L2 just because I don't have to dex it, so why should I? Here he finally holds his block so I can start hitting his block and build some prowess. He does it again here, which is really nice of him. Here he does an L2, which I can easily outdistance, so I did it. And then now I'm just building to, I think, L1s. At this point, you can see he's not gaining much power because of the prowess. And ideally, you get Petrify to help reduce it, but I didn't get them until the end, so there wasn't much I can do on that front, I would say. Here I parried the L1. I think I blocked this one, I didn't want to bother. And yeah, just L1s, just combos, and that was a 19k hit. And Fear of the Void, he hits very hard. Um, yeah, that's it for this one. I'm gonna come back to him the next fight. This Kindred was probably the second scariest fight in this war because it's Kindred. If you have someone like Hulk or Titania or I don't know any other meta science champs, then Kindred is nothing for you because you can power back boost and whatever, and he's gonna go down without any issues or real issues, I should say. But I'm using Void because that's what I had on my team, and I would say he's fine for the fight. He's not like great, but he's not terrible. Like nuke wise, at least, he takes some skill to use. I feel like I'm punishing the L1s perfectly, but he does still parry me somehow. And I think Iron Patriot, my friend, he was telling me that how the timing has been inconsistent, and I agree with him. So one big tip that you want to do is to bait his heavy and then heavy counter it. That way you reduce the degen timer. Like as you can see, it went way faster. Not degen, sorry, the infestation I think it's called timer. Here I throw L2, I gain enough power to get back to L1, which is exactly why I use the power bags. Here I use Relic to get space. I knew that would basically kill him, and then threw the L1 to cancel that end phase, and yeah, that's flawlessly done. At least the end part of it. I think my next fight is a werewolf with Void. It's fairly standard, and yeah, I have the Odin pre-fight, so I don't think I need to comment much on it. You ideally want to not let him hit your block too much if you can avoid it, because he puts ruptures, and you also want to manage the howl. Like when he howls and he gets the tense charge, he's gonna be unstoppable. The power gain from the howl itself you can reverse with the prowess and with the petrify and all that. So yeah, I didn't have much worries. I personally prefer to bait the L2 because it's like easy to dex. So I did try to push him to L2s. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's not really a difficult fight. And yeah, I'll come back in the next one. So this last fight is the Atom. This is probably the scariest fight that I had this war. I took it once in New Nation, and I think I died to it or almost died to it. And this was on like pre-nerf, and this was on aspect of evolution. So he was basically just spamming L2 and just regenerating a ton. And there's nothing I could do because once he enters sovereignty, he's immune to the things that Void does. I'm not 100% sure how Void works, like entire kit wise. I mean, like I have 25 genetic code, now I have 50. I was aiming to throw the L3 at 100, but now I lost my genetic code, so I don't know. Maybe I should have done it sooner, or I should have been able to ramp to 100. I don't know. So I just threw it now. I have 200% mistake power backs. I have 5 out of 5 deep wounds. I have inequity, despair. I don't have resonate because I'll just give him too much regen. The blades are doing good damage with deep wounds, and they're also staying on for a long time. I'm not letting him do a second light in my block because he's going to be unblockable, and we don't want that. I'm going to wait for him to come in, throw my L2. The good crit RNG there. And you might be wondering why I'm getting so many crits even though he's a rank 3. I have the max... No, actually, sorry, not max. I have the Doctor Strange synergy with Void that gives extra critical chance, and yeah, I think that's what contributed to it. I also did get a little bit lucky, but even if I didn't, I would have still, comfortably soloed this fight. But yeah, 99% feels really good. Thank you for watching. Hope you have an amazing rest of your days.